Hello again, Chibikko fans. Choro-Q Chibikko, that is, which is a smaller size of Choro-Q. So this is from 2006. It's an ARTA NSX. Basically, it ran in the SuperGT, I think in the GT500 class. And it's basically an Autobox sponsored vehicle. I don't know what ARTA is, though. Anyways, let's open this guy up. This would be my second SuperGT Chibikko. Pretty strong cardboard box. Alright. So it comes with this little stand, you know, it keeps the thing from getting flat spots on the tires, because this is actually a pullback toy and you don't want to have flat spots on tires there. So it's pretty minimal, it's actually pretty good. Although it could be a little shorter. If you collected 100 of these things, it would start to add up. Okay. I'm not too serious about comparing photos, but if you want to pause, maybe you are serious about it. These things are just so small. I'm just glad to see there's something on the body. Let's get the snorkel up there. Interesting, it's orange here, but it's black in the other two photos. So this toy, it looks like it's clear. So let's take a closer look at this thing. So it's got some chrome 5-spokes. Or actually they're gold, kind of like the race car has gold wheels, so I can understand that color choice. What's nice is these are all tampo prints. They're not decals or anything like that. I don't think toys can have decals. So yeah, nicely printed. We have silver headlights, some radiator venting there, some grill venting here, little canards sticking out a little bit. Super GT is tampo printed up here. Okay, so this is transparent, so I'm gonna guess, well, it is a separate piece though. It's pinned into this back window. Some detail here, the wing must, I'm sure, is a separate piece. Yeah, okay. So then the taillights are painted red and have this little silver thing there. Super GT, even this is tampo printed. Very often these are stickers on Choro-Qs. Black for these giant vents here, the wide body fender vents. Some vents there in the window. Yeah, some depression here. You know, the number 8's printed well. On the bottom, it says 2006, standard construction. So you can see the clear body and just how well they paint that one piece of plastic to look so nice. So it's really amazing, you know, that Tomitech can make a toy look this good. And then on the flip side, their TLEs very often have quality problems. So it's strange. Okay, yeah, riding stance is a little better than what I've seen in the past. So let's compare it to the other Chibikko race car that I have from the Super GT. Is this one, this Calsonic Z, and I removed the wheels from the motor and I remounted with putty, so they're much lower. And I think that makes sense for a race car. I'm probably gonna have to do the same here with this. So in case you guys are interested in how to do this, I'll show you how to go about doing such. Just need some basic hand tools. So first thing, we're going to need to unscrew this thing. Let me get a better angle here. So a little Phillips head. Maybe a number 1. Or what's this say? A Phillips 0, a PH 0. Okay, then there's a tab holding the back on, and will it come out? Sometimes the tab is wider than the hole, but this one wants to come out. Alright, so there you can see that clear body. I think they painted it silver first, and then painted the orange on top of it. Anyway, it's very well done. Quite impressive. Alright, so the front axle just pops out. It's like a friction fit. And then this motor has this little tab right here, so we gotta pull that forward a little bit and then pull the motor upwards. There we go. I don't think you gotta pull on that too hard, you could probably snap that off. Here's also a production dial, if that should interest you. So it does say 06 and February of 06, but seeing how it already says 06 on the bottom there, but just trivial. So this is a little spring motor, much smaller than the regular Choro-Q one. So what I do is I just first grab one, twist it, and that comes off, right? Then you're going to need some pliers of some sort, and I just grip the knurling here, and then I just twist the other wheel off. And pull and twist. Okay. So then I go and do that. First I'll hold these two front wheels, twist and pull, and then hold this knurling, twist and pull. Pretty easy, right? Now the thing is, we gotta get rid of this axle here for the drive motor, or you can't lower the wheels with putty. So I have a phone tool, but you could probably use a flat-headed screwdriver. And for me, I like to jam it in right here on this small gear. So I'm going to push that down. I'm going to twist these apart. Now, I'm holding these gears in as much as I can. So let me tell you how these things work. Underneath this giant white gear is a metal spring. You can see it peeking through, the shininess there. I have never had one pop open because I'm afraid if I do, it'll take 20 minutes to coil that thing back up. So it's very important that you don't let this big gear fall out, or the spring might just blow up in your face. Alright, so that's the most important part about taking these motors apart. Then this gear here wants to rest. If the flat is here, the axle came out the bottom. It's resting in this top hole. These things are so small though, I very often have to use tweezers. So I'm going to hold this here, put that back in that hole there. So that's what that's supposed to look like, okay? Ah, this side fell apart already. Alright, well anyways, I can now remove the drive axle. Alright, I'll just save that later in case for some reason I want to go back to stock. Okay, so I gotta decipher this. So one gear is in this hole here. The other gear is probably gonna be in this hole here. And there's a long end and the short end. Hopefully you can see. Hold on. I can get the tweezers. See the long axle and the short axle? I don't know if the short axle belongs here or not. I think it does. Let me try it. Yeah, so the short axle goes into this black plastic piece, I think. Now the challenge is trying to get this all together. Of course, since it's not going to really drive the vehicle anyways, maybe it doesn't matter. Oh, wait a second. I'm doing this wrong. This is the other end. So I want it to make like that. I've already forgotten now. This is a pain. This is what I suspect is going on. I'm putting the long end through this hole here. Up here. Then I'm going to put this plate on. So that gear peeks through. Only that gear is popping through. Alright, so then these two plates here holding things together. And I have to put this back on this lower section. Yeah, that is, I think, how it's supposed to go back, if you want to keep all the gears. Of course, you could just keep all that stuff separate in a separate bin. And the reason why I'm even going through all this trouble of putting the motor back together and putting it back in here is because if I don't, I'm going to have to use a lot of mounting putty. So I'll show you here without the motor. So you look how much all that, there's going to be a massive air gap there. Ah boy, so this tooth is too long. So what I often do is I just shave that tooth down a little bit. Because I know at some point I might want to put that motor back together if I ever sell this again or something. Alright, you see, this is a giant hole there. The front's not too bad because there's that thing trapping the front axle. So that's why I'm trying to put this back in, so I don't have to fill that entire void up with mounting putty. Or like, I guess you could jam a piece of wood or foam in there, but I just find it's easier to do that, see? Now there's a wall for the mounting putty to attach to. So now I try to always use a hand screwdriver to screw it back together, because I think that electric one would just strip out this hole. The back thread, find the thread, put it back together, and then this mounting putty, this is called Uhu Potafix Pro, that's the gray one. You could use any color, of course, because when you put the card down you'll never see the putty. Alright, so now I'm mounting it there. That's actually too much. I find this putty doesn't leave a mark, and you can use it again and again, so you can swap these wheels around to other vehicles, and also you can set the wheels to steer. So let's put some on the front. See, you have a little bit of steering, more dynamic posing. There's the rear again. Also, if you like JDM camber, you know, you can camber the wheels out a lot. But for a race car, I don't really do the camber thing. Alright, just a little bit more putty for the other front wheel. Steering that way, I will steer this way. Okay, there we go. Now we have a steering race car that's lowered. Right? So, you know, if you took the time, you could also, you know, simply have a wheel gap to make it even more realistic. Just pull it down. Again, this mounting putty is just so easy to work with. I love this stuff. Cool. Alright, let's get these tools out of here. And let's get the coaster out. So that'd be the most logical comparison. I'm quite positive these two cars would have been competing against each other in the Super GT. These are the only two Super GT cars I have, but I do have some other, you know, Chibikkos. Here's like a Skyline R34, just a street version. Here's a Datsun Old Z rally car. I don't have a different NSX in this scale. Okay. It's interesting because this Datsun is totally stock, but the ride height on that one looks pretty good, whereas the Silver Skyline, it looks a little bit gappy. Okay, well, hopefully you learned something. If you like cartoon deformed vehicles and normal Choro-Qs are a little bit too big for you to collect, you know, these Chibikkos seem to have just as much detail as most of the full-size ones. The only detriment or fallback for this one, for me, this scale, is the ability to swap out wheels. The front wheels on Chibikkos are so small that you can't really swap in Hot Wheels or, you know, anything meant for a Hot Wheels. Whereas the full-size Choro-Qs, you can swap out wheels with Hot Wheels or majorettes pretty easily. They're all around the same size. So that's the problem with this. But if you don't care about swapping wheels, then definitely collect these things. Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you the next time I get Chibikko in. Bye.